What is going on, everybody? Week 4 is over. It is Tuesday night, which means it's the time for the fantasy cheat sheet. But before we get into the show, gotta hit that button.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is going on, everyone? It is Tuesday night. Let's just get into the cast and the crew. Jamie, what is up, my dude?
Are you ready for some football? Let's get into it, fellas.
Hold on. Now you can go, Jordan. Someone's muted.
Excited to talk about some football with you guys tonight, man. A mixed bag for me this past week, as it has been so far this season, but I'm looking forward to getting to some news with you guys.
Roll.
Okay. My voice still sounds normal, but what is up, gentlemen? Looking forward to another great show. Yeah, as Jordan was kind of alluding, it's been a rough go for some of us here, but at least we're here to yap about football 24/7.
Well, my day was going good until my ears started bleeding. I mean, hi, Jamie. All right. What a day. What a week. Good, bad, and ugly. We will get to all of it. So let's just get straight into some of the injury news that we got to talk about. Let's just get into my game when it comes to injury news first. Let me go back to the screen. In the Chiefs-Baltimore game, Lamar Jackson pulled up lame in the third quarter, ends up being a hamstring quad injury. Looks like he's going to be out for at least week 5. Cooper Rush season. Yay! And then they have a bye after that, so we'll see. Jamie, what do you think? What does this do in general for those Baltimore Ravens and the great Zay Flowers?
Well, it's definitely going to hurt them. They weren't even doing that great with Lamar, honestly. So, are they even going to make the playoffs? They're 1-3 right now.
Well, 1-3 going 1-3, but they went against Detroit, Kansas City, and Buffalo to start the season. It's a very tough start. I understand what you're saying, but we'll see about that. Jordan, real quick, do you have any more thoughts? And then we'll get to the next piece of news.
Yeah, it's not looking good right now for the Ravens as a whole. But I mean, if they beat Houston, I feel like they can win with Cooper Rush. He's shown that he's capable. For fantasy purposes, maybe that means more touches for Derrick Henry, hopefully, and that could lead them to victories.
Yeah, and then let's we're good on that. All right. We're going to skip that. We're going to go to that one. All right. Here's another giant one, big one, however you want to call it. In the Giants-Chargers game, which I still can't believe the Chargers lost to the Giants, because the injury happened early in the game. Malik Neighbors went down. It was confirmed. It is a torn ACL. Jordan, what does this do for the Giants?
It hurts Jackson Dart, obviously, when your top weapon is gone. Like a rookie quarterback needs that top guy. He doesn't have it now. It's going to rely on Wandale and some of the other guys we'll talk about maybe a little bit later. But it just hurts the offense overall. I feel like when you have a guy like that goes down, there's no way to replace him. You can't sign somebody that's going to have that production. So I think, it's going to hurt Dart. I think it just means that you're not going to totally see what you have in him until next year when Neighbors is healthy.
Raul, what do you think about it?
You just gotta feel for Giants fans, man. I mean, to go from the highs of seeing that first Jackson Dart drive, you got the Scatterboo mania going on, and it was only after that first successful drive that Neighbors went down and is really though not as bad as another injury that we'll touch on in a sec, but just the way he was screaming in agony, just horrible scenes, man. And like you, Jordan had touched on, it completely changes the way teams are going to defend against the Giants. It's having the benefit of a threat like Neighbors, demand certain coverages that a rookie quarterback, probably wouldn't have merited otherwise. And I think it's gonna have a huge impact on the season and probably cap how much this team can progress in Jackson Dart's rookie year without Malik Neighbors out there.
All right. So, one piece of information before we get into Monday Night Football. Bucky Irving showed up on the on the injury report, and it looks like he is not doubtful yet, but it looks like his status for Week 5 is in question, and it's more than likely that he's not going to play. Raul, what do you think this does for that good old Buccaneer offense?
Man, just so many pieces keep going in and out. It's if it's not a wide receiver, it's an O lineman. If it's not an O lineman, it's Bucky Irving. And I was hearing some chatter on a podcast, and they were thinking he actually got injured before his 75-yard touchdown catch. It's a fair play to Bucky, man, toughed it out. But of course, having played sports, I'm sure you all know, you kind of feel that swelling, and once that adrenaline goes down, you kind of walk away and hurts a little more. So it's going to be a big blow. We'll talk on who to pick up to navigate around that, but that is a dynamic weapon to miss. But as Baker's kind of shown with the supporting cast, he just gets it done any which way. And they've got Godwin back. He didn't show up in the box score as much, but it looked like he was back to full complement of route. So I think they'll be fine, but it is a big blow.
Jamie, I got a direct question for you on this. After listening at the beginning of the season, like I told you, I went back to look at the season, went back to the season 1 episode of 2024. So I say this half sarcastic and half not. What does this do for your best friend, Rachaad White?
He's obviously going to pick up a little bit. He's probably going to be the main guy in the backfield. He has to be. At least 60% of the snaps. There could be, we'll talk later probably about someone else. Maybe Sean Tucker. Who knows?
We'll see. All right. So Monday Night Football. Yes, Monday Night Football. So there was 2 games last night. Dolphins beat the Jets 27-21, and Cincinnati beat Denver beat Cincinnati. Obviously, Cincinnati didn't beat them because Cincinnati didn't freaking show up. Denver beat Cincinnati 28-3. But before we get into our takes of the game, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. Tyreek Hill goes down with an ugly injury, torn ligaments in his knee, and a dislocated kneecap. Done for the season, obviously. Maybe even more, but we're not going to speculate into that. Jamie, take it away.
Man, that was unnecessary. If you saw the play, the defender literally grabbed his leg and did like an alligator roll. It was like I was watching MMA, for real. It just seemed like maybe he did something to his sister or something and wanted to get revenge. He didn't need to do that. It made no sense, and now it just pretty much ruined his career. I know they say he's going to be back next season, but how healthy is he really going to be?
Jordan.
Yeah, it was gruesome to see. Like just watching him. I, as a owner of him on many teams, watching the catch, I was like, "Nice catch." Then when I saw the guy get off of him, I saw his leg. I'm like, ugh. It was horrible to see. Feel for him as a player having to go through that for him. But we're gonna talk a little bit about who this may benefit moving forward. But I it's just something that you don't want to see on TV or anything like that. And we don't know when he'll be back. Maybe he'll be back. Maybe he won't. Dislocated knee is nothing to play with. Multiple torn ligaments, including his ACL. So long recovery ahead for him.
Raul.
Yeah, man. Prayers up to Cheetah. I honestly couldn't even. I had already switched to the Bengals Broncos game because I have problem concentrating on multiple streams at once, and I had a very tight Chase Brown T Higgins matchup that I in the end no one scored any points, but I had to watch the other game, and so people started blowing up the chats, and man, prayers up to you. Really do hope that we see him come back in some capacity, but like Jordan alluded to, opportunity knocks, and maybe Mike not to mess up the flow, but to jump right into it. Is Jalen Waddle's season upon us? We were talking a little bit before we went on air that we were trying to predict whether Tyreek would still be a Dolphin all through the season, or maybe even a natural progression of Waddle into that role that really his contract should demand. But I think Arrow is firmly pointing up. That's a surface level take. Anyone could say that, but rookie year Jalen Waddle was like a volume hog pre Tyreek. He actually set the rookie reception record, which is quickly overtaken by Puka Nakua. But he had 1,000 yards in his rookie year with over 100 receptions. Then he put up 1,300 in his second year with Tyreek, with the McDaniel system. He turned into more of a deep threat, more of a yards after catch, big play kind of guy. But he has shown in the past that he has the ability to command targets, lead an offense. Dolphins offense has gone from ultimate bad vibes to not just watchable. I mean, they were starting kind of. My favorite play at the start of that game was that little Tua like behind the back like backflip, I think, to Malik Washington on like the second end around. There's a bit of that pizzazz coming back. But it really it asks Jalen Waddle to step up, and I do think he can do it. He has the talent. He's been paid the contract. He's got a quarterback that has his struggles, but can deliver the ball accurately on time. A little more creativity, ability to create when the play breaks down from Tua in the last couple of weeks, which we kind of blasted him on, Jamie and I, on the Dynasty 6-pack. But yeah, I think arrows pointing up, and I could see even a top 15 season in Waddle's outcomes from here on out. The guys, there's some talent, there's some different kind of skill sets, but Waddle should be the alpha in this offense for sure. And I'm curious what you guys think and how high really his ceiling could go.
All right, I got a major take on this one. Absolutely, he's going to skyrocket. He's going to show who he should have been this entire freaking career. He's going to blast to the moon. But in all honesty, I do think he's going to have a great turnout. But I think this gives the ability to this team to do what I think McDaniels needs to do to save his team, save his season, and save his job. Because all you guys know that I've been saying all offseason that McDaniels is going to get fired. And what I think they're going to end up doing, one, they're going to use Malik Washington, but here's what they're also going to do. A chain's going to come into the slot a little bit and out of the backfield, and I think they're going to play a chain and Ollie Gordon on the field at the same time. We'll get to somebody else in this roster a little bit later in the show because let's just say old ghosts come alive in October and the end of September. That's all I'm going to say for that one. But Jamie, why don't you give a quick take on this one and then roll right into yours about the other side of the ball?
Yeah, I'm high on Waddle. We all knew without Tyreek Hill that Waddle could be a top 12 receiver easily. I think we even talked about it probably in the past, like a year, 2 years ago. And that was the only thing holding Waddle back from being one of those top wide receivers in our lineups, and now we could actually have it. I just made a trade today. I ended up getting Waddle. I gave up Ted McMillan in a dynasty. I got Waddle, Swift, and Justin Fields, who I am about to talk about for my Monday night takeaway. So Justin Fields, right now, he is a cheat code in fantasy football, right? Like he runs, he throws, he scores. He gives you a safe floor every single week. Most quarterbacks, yeah, they get some passing yards, maybe a touchdown, boom, that's it. Fields, he's running 80-plus yards, scoring on the ground, then throwing for 200-plus and another touchdown. That's basically an RB1, QB1, all in one spot right there. So if you've got Fields, you're not just playing fantasy football, you're breaking the game and making your league mates sweat every time they match up against you.
All right. Yeah, go, Jordan.
No, I agree, man. I was high on Fields coming into this season. He showed the upside in week one. Was very disappointing in week two. He got hurt, had the concussion, but he showed you what he can do last. Now the Dolphins are a weak defense, as we know, but I think his abilities don't go anywhere. They travel. His legs are going to travel with them, and as long as he has that, he's going to be a cheat code, like Jamie said.
Yeah, and then why don't you? So that was everything talked about in the first game. Like I said, the second game was 28-3 Denver. Take it away, Jordan. That's all I gotta say.
I don't even have much on this topic, but it was just like Raul said, watching that game, I'm sure it was an eyesore to a certain extent. The Bengals offense scoring 10 points last week and then 3 points last night. It's the obvious thing is for them to look to trade for a veteran quarterback, someone that'll sling it around, maybe a Kirk Cousins, maybe I don't want to say Russell Wilson because I think he stinks, but maybe even Jameis, bring him from New York or something like that. Because Jake Browning isn't cutting. Now, obviously, Denver is a tough defense, so maybe he gets a pass for that. They'll play the Lions this week, which is not as tough of a defense, but still has a good pass rush. But the players on their team that they're paying a bunch of money to, you don't pay a bunch of money to guys to throw seasons away. And even though Joe Burrow is hurt, those guys are still getting paid a lot of money. They still have a lot of talent. So they should try to maximize that. And I think the only way that they can truly do that is for making a trade for someone else to come in.
Yeah, as soon as Burrow went down, and they still, now they're 1-3, whatever it is. When it first went down, and we didn't know what, they were still in peril. That division's kind of up in the air now. I thought that was going to happen right away. I thought they were going to trade for Cousins or somebody that week. I think if they do it, the problem with Cousins is the contract. To me, it's Cousins or Jameis.
Mm.
I don't think, like you said, no one wants freaking Russ.
Yeah.
No, because you know what it won't be? It won't be let's ride. It won't be. But I do think it's Cousins or Jameis. If he goes to Cincinnati, he'll just have to steal some Skyline chili because there won't be any crab legs. But other than that, this team is in peril. That defense is in peril. The most inefficient running game I've seen in a very long time. So they need to fix something or just completely retool and get ready for next year. But the problem is that's just gonna. If you didn't see Jamar Chase upset on the sideline last night, he was not happy.
And I get it initially because Browning showed promise a couple years ago, so I guess you think that you can go back to that, but it's just not working so far. It's only been 2 games, but how long are you going to wait?
Yeah, and that's the issue is how long you're going to wait, and if you wait too long, it's going to be too late to wait.
I would sorry, Mike. Just one point, and Jamie, you always talk about schedules, and I do want to note that they have played the Vikings D and the Broncos D. It is Lions and Packers coming up next, so pretty ugly probably the next couple of weeks. But can you see the situation get better to where a Chase, a Higgins, a Brown could be buy lows if we project after this gauntlet? That we could see some semblance. Are you trying to buy low?
Here's part of the problem. Part of the problem is you're right. I'll mention this and then I'll go into my take. Part of the problem isn't part of the problem. Yes, they have decent. Lions are okay, and the Packers give up yards, whatever. We'll get into that later. But the problem is the teams they're going against have offenses that are going to obliterate that defense and not even make it worth it.
Hey, garbage time though.
Yeah.
You're still playing fantasy.
There is garbage time, but I still don't. But what I'm saying is, if it's just for garbage time, I don't think the team's going to make the investment to make the trade. That's the issue. If it's for garbage time for fantasy, great. But I don't think the team's going to go out and trade for Cousins or trade for Jameis just for our points.
Yeah.
All right. I cannot believe I am actually going to do this, Jordan.
I can. Because this guy does this every year.
Sean Payton has actually done something right. This week, he finally did it right. You got J.K. Dobbins who doesn't get into the end zone, but I don't care because J.K. Dobbins gets 16 carries, 101 yards, 6.3 yards per carry. R.J. Harvey, 14 carries for 58 yards, 4.1. even Marvin. Hey, Jamie, my guy got a carry. Marvin Mims, 1 carry, 16 yards and a touchdown. Bo Nix, 6 for 7 and a touchdown. But even for the running backs through the air, R.J. Harvey, 4 for 40 and a touchdown. And even Tyler Beatty, 1 catch for 11 yards. The reason I want to bring that up is they finally did something right with this offense when it comes to the run game. This was the first 100. This is the main reason I brought this up. It's the first 100-yard rusher for Sean Payton in Denver, which means 38 games, Jordan. 38 games, and he finally has a 100-yard rusher. You want to know what the sad part is? He might not have another one the rest of the freaking season. Because guess what's going to happen the next 2 or 3 weeks? He's going to forget what happened against Cincinnati and do something completely different. You know who's going to lead the team in carries next week?
Tyler Beatty.
Yep, exactly.
Harvey.
No, Tyler Beatty. That's my exact point. The problem is he just doesn't know when to not screw things up and to experiment. I do love the fact that they got a 100-yard rusher, but other than that, I cannot trust Sean Payton.
And the thing, I thought where you were going was that you were pissed at him for when they were inside the 5, not going with Dobbins at all.
Oh, I'm mad at that.
And getting stuff.
I'm not happy about that either, but it is what it is. Let's see it right here. Meatball! Sorry about your Giants, buddy. Good evening, guys. And then he says, how about those Bengals actually extending their good players sooner than later so they can actually have players that will want to show up to camp? So true on that one. And then how credible is the Broncos' domination considering they play we'll see. I can't remember who they play next. If anyone wants to look that up, but
it's the Eagles, so it should be
we'll find out
good
this week.
one. Yeah.
Latavius Murray was the last Denver running back. Oh my God.
Great call.
That is bad. All right, Jamie. It is time for Real or Fake. And I already knew as soon as I saw the player, I didn't have to look to see who it was. I didn't have to look to see what guy it was because I know you were obsessed about this guy so much that I'm about to get you a jersey. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love myself some Drake May. This dude is for real. He's got that prototypical build. He's got the big arm and the mobility to extend plays. And it's more than just those tools. He's already shown growth from year 1 to this year. He's currently overall QB4. His efficiency is climbing. He's making smart reads. And here, let me pull this up real quick. Drake May.
Yeah, QB4.
Through weeks 1 to 4, he has his completion percentage, number 1. Total yards, number 6. Total touchdowns, 6. Total first downs, 3rd. Passer rating, 5th. So, I mean, despite being in a mediocre situation with his team, May is actually operating at somewhat of an MVP type level. So check this out. I saw this today. I thought it was fun. Most consecutive games with 75 plus completion percentage and 2+ passing touchdowns in a single season. Tom Brady has 4. Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Kurt Warner all have 3. And now Drake May joins them with 3. So let's see if he can do it next week and join Tom Brady in that elite stat. But the bottom line, when you see a guy put up numbers, command the pocket like he does, and elevate his team this early, you know he's built to last, and he's going to be around for years to come.
I am not disagreeing there. Who did I have on the show sheet? It is Jordan.
Yes, I agree, man. Drake May is the real deal. Um, they have played less than stellar defenses over the first four games with the Raiders, Steelers, Dolphins, some defenses that are worth being picked apart. But I do think no matter what, he is providing what you want, and he's at a consistent level. The weapons are looking like they're getting better. Stephon Diggs, who we'll talk a little bit more about, is looking um, better, looking healthier, so that's good. All he need, Hunter Henry producing, so yeah, I definitely think he's the real deal.
All right. I'm going to put this up real quick and then I'll let you go, Jamie. T Money, give us some more information on what your situation is. Is it redraft? Is it dynasty? What's the situation team wise? That way we can give you, without knowing more, it's hard to tell you what you should sell Genty for. But we'll definitely go over it if you put it in the chat. Jamie, go ahead with your fake, sir.
Yeah. So my fake right now is Tutu Atwell. Yeah, he showed up in the box score. He was in the top 20 wide receivers, but that's going to be misleading because he only has one target each week in the first 3 weeks, and then two targets last week. Caught one of those for 88 yards and a touchdown. So you're going to look at it and be like, oh, he could be someone I could pick up. No, don't pick him up. He's not someone you want to start. And honestly, I wouldn't even waste the roster spot on him at all. He's just a gadget player. He won't be reliable, and he'll get you way more zeros week to week. And if you decide to trust him, you're going to be the number one league loser.
All right.
Yeah.
Raul.
I mean, completely agree with you. I mean, man's name is Tutu, and he had one catch, right? Like, come on, why can't it be two? The only thing else I would say, I mean, because Jamie said it all, is he had the mental wherewithal to hold the ball as he crossed over the line, which the other side's deep threat did not. That might have been a real play for AD Mitchell because he also made a boneheaded holding later. But we're not talking about AD Mitchell in this segment. Tutu fake for sure.
All right. Before you go, Jordan, T Money, we will answer yours in a question. So, guys, if you can look in the chat, look at T Money's. I'll bring it up after Jordan goes, but because it's a little long. So, Jordan, go with your reel, buddy.
Yeah, man, my real Mike is somebody you're familiar with, and it's Xavier Worthy, man. Um, I think going into this season, when you look at how he closed out last season, he was putting up numbers. Obviously, Rasheed Rice was hurt last year, but he closed out the season very strong. We had higher expectations for him going into this season. Obviously, got knocked out of the game on the third play of the year, so we didn't see what they had in store for him. But coming back, first game back, 8 targets, 5 catches, had some rushing attempts as well. We all know the Chiefs are looking for anybody who can run the ball a little bit, so Mahomes doesn't lead the team in rushing. And I don't think that this is going to really necessarily go away even when Rice comes back. I think this will hurt some of the other guys, the Jujus, the Tyquan Thornton, who's already seeing less of target share now that Worthy's back. But some of those ancillary guys, maybe even Kelsey may struggle even more. But I think Worthy is here to stay. They want to find multiple ways to get him involved. And you can tell, like, he jumped back in the lineup. Now, it was against the Raiders, but the offense went to where we hadn't seen it in a long time. I think it's the first time they scored over 30 in like 2 years. So uh, they love him. I like his speed. He's skinny as hell, so hopefully he doesn't get banged up again. But he's the real deal.
All right. I have to. I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to put my name down because this is the most real thing on the show sheet. Because he finally, not that I mean he didn't play it before, but you could see the difference.
Yeah,
What I mean is when he got hurt against the Chargers, it even in that game it
it
went to
messed up the
crap.
whole game.
It went to crap because he was such a vital part of the game plan that it went to dog doo doo. Then in week 2 and 3, it was kind of what it was. That yeah, we beat the Giants. Sorry, meatball. But then in week 2, We lose to Philly, had a chance. The guy you mentioned, Mr. Kelsey, that whole debacle in week 2, missing the ball in the end zone and then the interception. But you're right. It's working through him. I do think they're going to work the ball through Brashard Smith and Kareem Hunt still. I even heard on a very big podcast this morning, that they thought Isaiah could be freaking droppable. And that scares the living daylights out of me because I did not think that would happen. We'll talk about another running back later in the show that I have aspirations for, but that's a whole nother day. But yes, this is real. Like you said, it's going to hurt Tyquan. It's going to maybe hurt Juju a little bit. They are going to get him the ball one way or another. Jordan, take it away with your fake.
Khalil Shakir, man, I'm gonna keep this short. He had a 43-yard touchdown, but when you take and this is a guy, small guy, he broke the tackles. The Saints' poor tackling skills led to him being able to escape for the long touchdown. When you take away that touchdown, which you wouldn't see on a regular basis, he would have had 4 catches for like 26 yards. So that's more of the short area targets that we see from him. He's not really a big touchdown scorer. I like him because Josh Allen trusts him, but as far as expecting him, he scored a touchdown in back-to-back weeks. He had 2 touchdowns all of last year on 100 targets. So you could see that's not really his profile. I don't see that really changing anytime soon. So I wouldn't really buy into the touchdown aspect of it and like the big yardage. But for obviously in PPR, he gets receptions, he gets targets. So he's that, but I think he's fake from a standpoint of expecting him to be one of those touchdown type of guys.
Bro.
Yeah.
No, who was it? Or is it Jamie?
It could be me, but I mean,
No,
agree
Jamie. Go, Jamie. Go, Jamie. My bad.
No, go ahead, Raul. I wasn't really.
Yeah.
So
I think Khalil Shakir is always going to be that guy who is more beneficial to the NFL offense than he is to us in fantasy football. And, credit him for being such a small guy. He's quite a yak threat, but otherwise I completely agree with what Jordan says. I think the touchdown each week is fake. And, I mean, if you can even bye week coming up, sell him a little bit high, I'd probably explore that, yeah.
I just want to add, so I was fading him this week. I thought it was going to be a Keon Coleman game because they face the Saints. The Saints allow the most points to outside wide receivers, but the least amount of points to the slot. And we all know Shakur played 60+% in the slot. So I thought he was going to get shut down. So, yeah.
All right. So for Team Money's question, he asked about trading what he asked for Genty. It is redraft. I'll read off the thing, and then we'll go real quick around the horn. We'll start with you, Jamie. 12-man PPR. Dak, Bucky, JT, Chase, T-Mac, Kraft, Pickens, Genty. He's streaming his D. That's fine. And his bench is Caleb Williams, Fannin, Bill or Jay, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Charbonnet, Ridley, and he has Ayuk on the IR.
So,
okay. So Chase is Chase Brown, not
Brown,
Jamar Chase. Oh, okay. Because I'm like, how the hell you get Genty, Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor, all of the same team?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, still, I mean, it's probably just a 10 team, maybe 8 teams.
No, he said 12.
team.
12.
That's-
So Bucky, JT, Chase Brown, Genty, those are all first, second round picks.
I don't know if that is that Jamar Chase or is
No,
that
it's Chase Brown.
Chase
again.
Brown. But anyway, with Bucky injured, Chase Brown not doing much, you're gonna want to keep Genty in this situation.
Yes. All right, is that Jamar Chase? Damn, that's Jamar Chase.
Yeah, it's Jamar. It's not Chase Brown.
Okay.
It's just Jamar Chase.
I wonder
So
if it's an auction draft, man. It's a lot of top-heavy picks.
Oh, okay.
He traded Ibuka for Genty.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I would just keep Genty, honestly.
Yeah,
you're gonna need him
sure.
if you want to compete.
Man, your team
Especially
is
with
nice.
Bucky out.
Jamar Chase will come around. Jonathan Taylor's like top 3 running back in fantasy. Genty's coming around as well.
I guess here to put a contrarian opinion, if you could get like a JSN, but just because like if Jamar Chase and T-Mac are the wide receivers, there might be some short-term pain, we'd obviously like the talent of both players, but if you could get like a JSN caliber wide receiver after this boom game in JSN kind of reduced fantasy scoring game, that's the tier of wide receiver I would target. But don't be selling low for like a like a Debo Samuel or something like that.
Right.
Like, so yeah, someone who's just getting the points, but we don't see it continuing at that level.
I guess if you do sell him, man, sell him for a top 5 wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Raul, why don't you go ahead with your reel?
Man, I'm on this rookie running back train. A couple weeks ago, we were worried about the rookie running back touches, but yet again, here I am with Cleveland Browns running back. I didn't think we'd say anything good about the Browns this year, but Quinshawn Judkins, man, I'm really in love with this kid's game. 25 touches against the Detroit Lions with 4 receptions. That's what we'd love to see. Back-to-back goal line touchdowns on a team that's like really like shown us this year that they are going to run it in like 4 times from the one. Like Raheem Sanders had a touchdown in week 1. This guy looks explosive. He has great contact balance. He has a knack of falling forward and getting those extra yards. And I think the biggest piece for, we don't like running backs on bad teams because of the likelihood of game script getting it away from them. But the Browns D is very much real, and they're able to keep games closer than you would expect of a team that's probably going to end up like, 2-15 or 3-14. I think this Quinshawn Judkins breakout is real. Top 15 running back rest of the way. I could definitely see that. And man, yeah, like I said, he's producing on a team that's like projected for 17 points a week, and he's like almost outscoring the team total with his fantasy output. I think is that sustainable or not? I don't know, but I think Judkins himself, the guy is real. He's very talented. I think he's gonna be a fantasy star for years to come.
Jamie, I put
Yeah.
you on this because it was your brownie.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, we saw he didn't play week 1. Week 2, he had at least a 25% snap share. Still got 10 carries on that, right?
Yep.
And it doubled the next week, and he's getting almost 20 carries a game. And he's seeing targets. I didn't expect him to see the target share. I thought that was going to go to Samson or Ford. But no, he is seeing the targets. This guy is going to be matchup proof. And for years to come, think Nick Chubb, because he does compare to Nick Chubb as a football player. And they just replaced Nick Chubb with Judkins. So 100%, he's going to be a top 10 option the rest of the year. I believe I looked and I saw points per game. He is putting up top 10 fantasy points per game. And he's just getting started.
There is one piece, I agree with you there, Jamie, but one piece of news that came out today is Joe Flacco has been benched and it'll be Dylan Gabriel starting. Does that bring any kind of worry for you, Jamie?
Any quarterback change is going to bring worry to the Browns. But no, that just means they're just going to feed Judkins even more because they're not going to be able to rely on the pass game.
Yeah, I agree with you.
All right, so let's go for a little bit of a joyride out to the desert. Raul, you want to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders?
I do. And after we were treated to the rant of all rants last week about this O-line, I do want to talk about a highly drafted skill player. That is Brock Bowers, who's so far only been the tight end 12 in points per game. I mean, if you sort points per game today, there is someone at number 1 who's only played 1 game. I'm not going to count him just yet, but tight end 12 points per game. O-line play has been horrific. Again, see Rant from last week. Gino has been extremely inconsistent. It's a big blow for the film gurus who've been pumping him up as like a top 10 quarterback in the league. I think let's bring those expectations down just a little bit. On the bounce back side, why I think this could be fake is Brock Bowers is working his way back from injury. Last week was his first with full practice since he injured his knee in week 1. He still did wear a knee brace in week 4, so we gotta hope this is not an injury that's going to persist. And
Jamie, look at the screen.
Oh,
Hey man, Zach, this guy's the start-sit Sultan. Don't count him out. But back to Bowers, I mean, I still do have belief in the talent. He is still fourth in the league in tight end receiving yards and fourth in the league in targets of the position. Everyone else in the top 9 for tight end receiving yards has at least one touchdown. So the numbers are still there. It's like an identical pace to where he was at last year. Obviously, we paid second round draft capital to get him in our redraft leagues. He might not return that, but I mean, I could still see a world where he's the tight end one from here on out. There are a couple more red flags, but I want to know, is what we've seen from Brock Bowers fake, or should we be really worried? Sorry, my bad.
That was funny. No, I think I want to believe that it's fake just because of the talent, but I wonder, like, a lot of times, sometimes the talent can't overcome the circumstances, and the
Mhm,
circumstances are the battle line, Geno's erratic play, sometimes the play calling.
mhm,
And so, I worried about Bowers a little bit coming into this season just because of the offense, what to expect. But he's had 8 targets, 6 targets, so it's not like he's not getting the ball thrown to him at
mhm,
all. But they went away from the pass game a little bit this past week just because Geno was struggling. 3 interceptions, horrible interceptions. Now, obviously, that could happen at any point, but I think if he's playing better and they're more on a neutral type of game script, and they're trusting Geno, I think because Jacoby Myers is the only, like, Trey Tucker was a flash. He's there
mhm,
for deep plays, but Jacoby Myers is the only consistent target earner, and Brock Bowers is him at tight end. So I think eventually they'll find other ways to kind of get him involved. And like you said, working back from that injury, I'm not ready to panic on him yet, but I am more worried about Geno than Bowers.
mhm.
Really.
Yeah, and just to add, they I think the one O lineman, Mike, you can maybe back me up here. Colton Miller, I believe
Yeah.
he's heading to the
Yes.
IR. He's been the only one who's been at least trustable, and so that O line could get even worse. But yeah, Jordan, I do want to trust the talent because he could be, a game breaker at that tight end position.
Yeah. All right. Before I get into mine, Jake likes pasta says, and then I'll bring up his other one after I read it off, Jamie. Trade question for you boys. I'm 4-0 and doing well, but I got an offer. I need some help. It's redraft, by the way. I was offered Lamb and Javante, so I'm assuming Javante Williams, for Bucky, Irving, and Hunter Henry. He has Bucky, so he'd be getting Lamb and Javante for Bucky.
I'm slapping yes. I would have
Yeah.
slapped yes before I asked.
His
yeah.
Stop watching. Keep the screen on. Stop
Yeah.
watching and go hit accept.
Yeah.
running backs are Gibbs, Kamara, Dobbins, Bilkowski. Wideouts are Adams, Sutton, and Keenan. Yes, go do it.
Okay. So my thought is you're getting Lamb for basically free, and you're just going to hold him on your bench until he starts, and then you're going to get a free top wide receiver. Hell yeah, I would do that.
Javante is real. Javante is absolutely real.
Well, and plus you don't even need Javante with Gibbs, Kamara, Dobbins. I mean, you could probably fit them in there.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about one of them in a minute.
Go ahead, accept immediately, man.
Meatball, we will
get
get to yours. Meatball, I'll get to your question after I do mine. Okie doke. So for my reel, I just want to make sure that I am talking not out of my rear end, but actually out of my mouth. I want to make sure I have this upright so I have my statistical knowledge going. Yes, I do. My reel is Alvin the Chipmunk Kamara. And unfortunately, this is not a good reel because this week he had 9.2 points. Last week he had 6.1 points. This week he was 31st running back on the week in half-point PPR. We will talk about his running mate in a bit, but here's the reason that I wanted to bring this guy up. This is not a player situation. This is a coach trying to figure out what he's doing. The best thing for Alvin Kamara is to trade him, because the way his contract is set up, whatever team would be to trade him, if they were to cut him after this year, his dead money only goes like $3.5 million. They could get away with it if they want to do, or they could pay him. Kansas City, you have the room in your salary cap. Please go ahead and trade for Alvin Kamara. That's why I was going to say, when you brought up Pacheco and them, I was like, that's the guy I want. But in all reality, this team is poo-poo. When you have Spencer Rattler as your best option at quarterback, I'm sorry, Jordan, your home state team is a dumpster fire.
I'm excited about this because I love to rub it into the Saints fans. I can't stand them all. So
Well, isn't your whole state Saints fans?
no, a lot of Cowboys fans.
It's not.
Why are we disrespecting chipmunks?
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna call on your ass, but Jordan, you get it this time. Go, Jordan. You get it. He disqualified himself.
I agree that it's surreal, just from the standpoint of, like you said, Spencer Rattler being the best option. It's not a good option, and also he doesn't throw it to the running backs as much. And then also, who Raul is going to kind of talk a little bit about later, he's having a little bit of more competition than I imagine for touches in that backfield. So, yeah, I think the struggles will continue. Even though they played better against the Bills than I thought they would, but he still didn't have a good game. My patience is wearing thin on him, and I don't see it really changing much as he gets older. The team looks to kind of get younger, so eventually he'll have to come to a crossroad where they decide to. Yeah, I thought he was going to be gone years ago, but then they signed him to an extension, so here we are. But Spencer Rattler being your quarterback, yeah,
it's not good. All right, for my fake. I did not realize it was this bad until I was on my bus ride home and I was digging into a couple things, and I changed my fake to this. David Montgomery had 1.2 fantasy points. Jamie, I'm going to give you credit for something. You said last week that your fake was the Cleveland Browns winning. And you were right, because they lost. But, so there's your credit. But your defense is for freaking real. The poor man had, for David Montgomery of all people, 9 carries, 12 yards, 1.3 average. Jameer, 15, 91, 6.1, and a tutty. Here's the thing. I was looking at this, and David Montgomery, with that, okay? So, with that performance, now I lost it. Okay, so he had that performance, right? He is still 17th in the league in rushing yards with a performance of 12 yards, and he's still 17th in the league. Not saying he's a top 5 running back when it comes to yardage or anything like that, but you add 40 more yards to that, and he jumps up to, so that would be 280, let's say 40 yards, so that's 285. That would jump him up to, hey, right above Derrick Henry at 7th in the league. I mean, it's sad that Ashton Genty is 9th in the league, and I think he got more than half of that this week. Yes, I had to say that because the Raiders listened to me and actually blocked. But, Raul, what do you think about David Montgomery, and why am I right? Because I'm not taking no for an answer.
You're absolutely right, Mike. The Cleveland Browns defense is real. Their run defense is especially stingy. And I think they're going to bounce back. And I think I just pulled up the Lions schedule week 5. They've got the Cincinnati Bengals that we just saw gashed on the ground. I think he's going to have a bounce back game. But Montgomery is one of those running backs that is extremely game script dependent because as soon as it's tight, neutral game script, you want to go to Jahmyr Gibbs, and not just the better player, but the better pass catcher in winning situations. You're gonna have Montgomery, but this was especially tough defense. I think next week he bounces back. They've got Chiefs, Bucks, Vikings, Commanders, Eagles. Wow, that's honestly kind of a gauntlet that they have going. So you might have to selectively play him here and there, but O-line has proven that they've replaced the pieces. They can still block it up, as we saw in the Ravens game. The defense for the Lions looks very made in Dan Campbell's image. So I absolutely see David Montgomery bouncing back. I think this is just a blip in his fantasy season.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, Meatball, here we go. There's two. I'm going to bring up the other one in a second. Looking to get McBride and JSN and PPR start 3 wide receiver, no TEP dynasty. Right up Raul, mine, and Jamie's alley. My running backs are Genty, Derrick Henry, Etienne, Judkins. His wide receivers are London, Pickens, Debo, JMO, and Neighbors. Tight ends are Kincaid and Pitts. QBs are May, Stroud, and Young. What do you think he'd have to do to get Mr. Yeah, go, Jamie.
I would throw in Kincaid
Mhm.
in that trade just because you're gonna get McBride back. So that means you would just have to add a little bit more. Man, that's tough.
I'll bring up the second part again.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look deeper into this, but I would definitely do Kincaid. I guess Pickens.
He's got some expensive taste, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to give up a lot.
Well, let me ask you this, because I saw this on someone else's podcast today. I'll shout them out. It was the footballers. They were talking, and there was someone else too. They were talking about, it was JJ, Zachariason. He was saying that could this be the perfect time? He was talking redraft, but it could be dynasty too. Could this be the time, because he's not being super? His carries are going down, but his efficiency is still high. Would this be a time to sell ETN?
Oh yeah, you definitely want to sell ETN.
So you could try to go you could go ETN, Kincaid.
Does that get you?
No, but I'm saying is like no. But I'm saying, like, what else is he gonna like? He's not gonna. Right now, you're not gonna get rid of Genty. You're not gonna get rid of Judkins.
Man, if honestly, Meatball, did he say super flex? Did he say this is a super flex? Because I kind of want that. I kind of want that QB2 to get a little bump up over Stroud or Young. I mean, May is locked in your QB1 slot, but non-tight end premium, like I don't know if you want to overpay for McBride. I mean, JSN's a stud. If you're willing to deal Neighbors, that opens a lot more.
That's what I was going to bring up. Is this a move that if you're going for the chip and you want JSN, are you willing to go off for Neighbors? Because I'm about to ask Jamie and Roll a question off air about the same thing.
So yeah, what if you put in ETN, Neighbors, Kincaid,
get both, yeah,
and JMO, and that might be able to get you McBride like a 4-for-2 trade.
He has his 26 first and second, as well as a 26 second and third.
Well, so I don't even think you need to give up capital.
So he has a first, 2 seconds, and a third. But if you're going to give up, if you have 2 seconds and a third, and you're going to give up the capital of a second, and someone's willing to do it, the 26th class might be the class to do it.
But is it worth it to give up that much with McBride, even though it's not tight end premium? Like, JMO is still serviceable. Like,
I might not need to do it. I would maybe just go for
3 for
JSN.
2. I think it could be like a 3 for 2.
Or do you just go for JSN?
Yeah, because Jay, like like 4-0. It's also with Pickens and Debo, who we'd probably expect some regression. Debo just with, I guess, Terry coming back. He's had a hot start with touchdowns. Pickens with Lamb coming back. I mean, I would love to acquire a wide receiver Jason's caliber. I mean, losing Neighbors is such a huge hit to a team like that.
Yeah. All right. So let's see where we are at. All right. So now it is time for matchup mania.
Yeah,
We talked about the Broncos earlier, Jamie. So what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about this Broncos versus the Eagles game coming up because this is going to be smash mouth football right here at its finest. The Eagles, when I look, they're favored 4.5 points at home versus
Mhm.
Denver. Philly's 4-0, but still shaky on defense a little bit, especially against the run. So the Broncos, they have a tough defense, but an inconsistent offense with Bo Nix. So I expect the Eagles to win straight up, but it's going to be such a low scoring game. I could see Denver covering the spread. So Philly, they have 13 game win streak at home, and both these offenses, you kind of say they're both kind of struggling, right? Like I can see the under on the game hitting the total under points. So I'm going under 44.5. I'm taking the Eagles money line, but I'm also taking Denver plus 4.5 because it's going to be a close game. So the key matchups that um, I'm looking at Dobbins. He's still going to be a solid start. Sorry, Mike. I think he's going to just get the volume. His touchdown streak, I know it ended last week, but he had 3 games with touchdown every game, and I could see that happening this week with touchdown, getting those goal line works, and just put him in as a top 20 potential running back. But the Broncos may hold Barkley under his season averages, but he's still going to get involved. He's going to get a lot of volume and even involved in the passing game. And I'm expecting Barkley to get a touchdown. So I like those bets. Then you got Devonta Smith. Not sure what he's going to do. I know he's leading the team in targets, so you kind of have to keep playing him. Maybe hit his reception on the over. But then you got AJ Brown. He's always going to get those big plays, but he's going to get locked up by Surtain most of the game. So I'd rather start a Devonta Smith over an AJ Brown this week coming up. How do you guys think this game's going to go?
Jordan, and then go right
Yeah,
into
I think it's gonna be a kind of a defensive battle, slugfest, like you said, smash mouth. Hoping to see Saquon get back on track, but I'm not. I'm a little worried about him. I would like to see AJ Brown get some, but Sertan will be on him, so that'll be a tough night for him overall. But yeah, I see the Eagles winning, but I do think it'll be a close game.
All right, and it's time for the crystal ball.
I don't know. I need some glasses, some better glasses or something. I can't see anything that's gonna happen. I've been 0 for like 3. Um, so I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. God darn it. The Saints suck. Jackson Dart and his dance moves are coming to play. They're playing the Saints. I think I see him and Cam Scatterboo leading the Russian attack. Without neighbors, I think they're going to lean even more on the run. He did a lot of running last week, almost got him hurt, and he is kind of still banged up. But I think he'll be ready to play. A lot of design runs, some scrambles as well. Him and Scatterboo run their way to another win. This time beating the Saints.
Earl, do you have any thoughts about that, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I see what you shared exactly about Dart and Scatterboo, and I also see Abdul Carter and the boys absolutely terrorizing Spencer Rattler. I do want to say one thing about the Saints: they're not very good, but I think they're feisty. You know, they got some fight. Kellen Moore. for whatever he is, this guy racks up the plays. I mean, they run to the ball like each time. Their play volume is amongst the highest in the league. So there is a lot of potential for fantasy scoring. Hasn't really born fruit yet. Not too much, but I see the game going as you do. I think Scadaboo, especially 25 carries in the last game, he's going to run all over them this week.
All right, so let me make sure I'm going to set you up correctly, sir. Yes, I am. Okie doke. It is time for Boom or Doom. Who is your
Boom.
boom?
Boom or doom? This time, let me start with the stats, but then I'll go into the real take, and that's the vibes. Stats. Stephon Diggs, breakout game versus the Panthers, 6 for 101 and 7 targets. He took over the slot role as in his first game with a 90% route rate. He was really working his way back from that ACL tear, but I think we saw the best of Stephon Diggs. Something that really stood out to me is he had a 13-yard ADOT, which last year the Texans, even though he had some great games with the Texans, I was really worried about how short his targets were coming in, whether that really like capped his ceiling. Of course, then he tore his ACL. We didn't really see it play out over the course of a whole season. But now for the vibes take, it is a prime time Sunday night football revenge game away in Buffalo. And I see Stephon Diggs putting up 100 plus yards and a touchdown on his way to a boom game this week. Start Stephon Diggs, and maybe, hey man, could be wish casting for my team that has Drake London and Roma Dunze on bye. I gotta get Steph Diggs in there, but hey, they be giving anyone a podcast these days. But I am gonna say my take, and that's Stephon Diggs boom game in week 5 against his old team, the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. I mean, if Cardi B's in the stands, it might happen, but I don't know.
Bruh.
The problem with this thing is with Diggs and your take isn't the fact that I think Diggs is going to have a bad game. It's just every single time I say it's going to be one person on New England, it's another. Or freaking this last week, Jamie brought him up. Drake May is great, but what? He had like 18 pass attempts and freaking still dominated against freaking Carolina. Yes, it's Carolina, but in general, I'm worried about the take, but I understand the take as well. And now, this one, my heart doesn't like. Who is your doom?
Second appearance on the podcast for the famous mug, but I gotta say, doom game coming up this week overseas across the pond for the man himself, Justin Jefferson. And that's mainly because their opponent is the Cleveland Browns. Again, like I said, London game. Probably don't set your alarms, guys. Don't watch this one. Carson Wentz, he's been much better for our fantasy assets, like Jefferson himself, who had his first real performance in 2025 this past week. But I'm very worried about the Vikings offense against this defense. You know, Jordan Mason was also a candidate for the doom of the week, especially against, we already talked about the run defense, but very worried about just how this whole offense is going to flow. A lot of O-line worries, injuries. They invested so heavily in the O-line, and we just haven't like seen all the pieces come together the way that we maybe projected. And I think this is a game that Kevin O'Connell, very good play caller, I think he could scheme up a few more targets to those ancillary pieces that we've been worried about in a season-long projection. But just with this kind of matchup, Denzel Ward being on Jay Jettas, I really think it's going to be closer to floor game for Jefferson than that ceiling. I think 16 or 17 points the past week. I think it's more 10 or 11. Is that a doom? You guys will have to tell me, but I don't expect to see a wide receiver 1 performance from Justin Jefferson this week.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, UK. Sorry, Jamie,
maybe
UK.
not a wide receiver 1, but he is going to put up some points because you can't run on the Browns, so they're going to have to throw it. And you know the Browns are going to lose. So how are they going to put up points? It's got to be through the air. So I could definitely see Justin Jefferson getting enough points to where you still need to start him. But he is doomed. He's not going to be the number 1 overall. Maybe not even the top 10, but definitely still startable.
Yeah.
So
temper expectations. Sorry, but temper expectations is how I would end that.
All right. It's time for the rant of the week. Mike's been fired up about this, so buckle up and let's let him cook.
All right, so this is a 2-part rant of the week because the real rant of the week has to be led in by another rant of the week. So my mini rant of the week, sorry, Jordan, is about your damn team. If you can't freaking have good clock control and know how to run a clock and run plays in overtime, you shouldn't be an NFL quarterback. You shouldn't be going, we're going to huddle and then run around like a chicken with its head cut off or running around like lazy daisy when you don't have hardly any time. And then you throw the ball out of the goddamn end zone and there's 1 second. And I'll be honest, hey, Cowboys, get a better clock manager because if I'm the Cowboys, I'm mad that the clock didn't hit double zeros. But the Cowboys and also your special teams is at fault because if they didn't get the block freaking extra point and give up a 2-point freaking conversion, we wouldn't be having this rant of the week. That is rant A. Here is rant 1A.
Side 2.
Here comes side 2. Is this football or is this football? Okay? This isn't AYSO soccer. This isn't rec ball at frickin' the YMCA. You don't get a participation trophy in the NFL. And that's what a tie game is. If the NCAA can figure out frickin' Roger Goodell and the owners and the frickin' competition committee, get your heads out of your arses and get this fixed. We've been saying this forever. Yes, it was a good move to change it where where both teams were able to possess the ball no matter what, right? I agree with that. But here's the problem. You kept the time at 10 frickin' minutes. So you move it to 10 minutes and then you do that? What the hell is this? Okay, wait. My rant is why didn't the Bengals punt down 25? Okay, but here's the thing. Roger Goodell, hire me for 1 freaking day. The day that the competition committee goes to order, hire me. What? 40-yard line and do exactly what college does. You don't want to move it up too far because of kicks? Move at the 40 and do exactly what college does because if they don't get any yards, it's still a 57-yard damn field goal. And not every freaking kicker is Brandon Aubrey or someone like that. We've seen guys shank it. For God's sakes, Parker Romo, or whatever his name is from the Atlanta Falcons, wins the job from Koo and then hits it so far right, it almost hit the freaking security guard in the freaking in the stands the other day. I don't understand why we still have ties in the NFL. This is hot garbage, hot, stinky, poopy garbage, and it needs to freaking stop. Right, Jamie?
That's exactly what I wanted to say. Get these freaking ties out of the NFL game. This isn't soccer. We don't need them. We want to see someone come out with a win. These players, they put their sweat and their tears into the game every single week. When you end it with a tie, no one wants to see it. That just takes the morale out of those players. So get your head out your arse and let's get it going.
All right, I agree. All right, let's get into this real quick. Chivalry King, thanks for joining. Should I trade Rashee Rice for Kenneth Walker? My lineup this week is Justin Fields, Chase Brown, Breece Hall, Justin Jefferson, Chris Godwin, TJ Hawkinson, and Chris Godwin. He's got Jacobs, but Jacobs is on the bye. He's 1-3.
Times 2 Chris Godwins is fire.
And he's 1-3. I just realized that too. And you really want me to tell you how I feel about fantasy meatball? I'll tell you, damn it. And it was the second highest scoring freaking tie I've ever. Oh,
So
okay.
He needs to replace Chase Brown. That's obvious. So I could see this happening.
Okay, Marvin Harris.
Well,
I think you
he's the
can
most
aim a little
inefficient
bit
running back.
higher. I think you
Yes.
can aim a little bit higher with the
Ken
Rasheed
Walker
Rice.
against Tampa Bay is not going to win you the week. Tampa Bay is good against the run, and obviously Charbonnet is still there. I would try to aim higher.
I do want to say, I mean, Brees Hall has got the runway for huge production next couple of weeks. Sounds like Braylon Allen's going to be going on the IR, so that should be a good boost for you there.
Yeah, for sure.
So
But yeah.
realistically, what running back can you get for Rasheed Rice, knowing that he's going to come back in 2-3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Maybe Amari and Hampton.
That's the name.
I was thinking him,
gonna
but I was
say.
like, is it
that
is
was
it
the
too,
first name that
is it
popped in my
too
head.
late considering the last 2 games he's had though?
Yeah.
But the upside of Rasheed Rice, it depends on who the Amari and Hampton owner is starting. I could possibly see them doing that.
Man, the trouble is also Justin Jefferson goes on bye in week 6. It's a rocky couple of weeks to navigate. I mean, I don't know if you want to. Can you toss in Rashi? Who's even going to buy Chase Brown, man? I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
but Rasheed and Chris might get you one step up.
Yeah. And then
what about would Judkins for Rasheed Rice be an even trade? And
Yeah,
is that a step up from Kenneth Walker?
it's definitely a step up from Kenneth Walker.
I feel like I'd still want to keep Rashi at that point, even after we
Here's the thing.
spoke about him.
Here's part of the problem with trading Rasheed Rice. You've already kept him for 2/3 of a suspension. Unless it's worth it, like you've already gotten there. All right, it is time to get to work, gentlemen. It is time for the ad read. Go support our sponsor, Underdog. Make it the first deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash during the off season. It's a 77.7443% chance you're in a league with Jamie. If you're in pick'ems, you can go against everyone else. I'm not going to tell you how I did yesterday. I got a freebie, a half a yard receiving or passing for Knicks, and then I lost a 6-legger by a half of a field goal from McPherson. I needed 2 and he got 1. Not happy. But go ahead, GF2 in capitals in the Underdog app, and you will get up to $1,000 in bonus bucks. Should we like a Junkins type level? Who should I be targeting if I'm trading Rice?
I would go for Amari and Hampton, man. But
Hampton is awesome.
His next comment made me laugh.
This one, I don't think I can make that happen. My league treats me like the Lakers. I pay an extra price for everyone. What do you mean extra price for everyone? We stole freaking Luka.
The Laker tax is real, man. Yeah. Not if you're not dealing with Nico Harrison.
Yeah, if you're not dealing with Nico Harris.
I mean, would you buy? Could you buy low on King Henry at this point?
Yeah. I mean, I would.
You would?
Yeah. I mean, I know he has some fumble issues. I don't know if he's working with some baby oil type stuff, but he needs to stop, man.
Bruh.
All right. So, Jamie, I asked you for a favor. It's time for Cheat of the Week. But, Jamie, I asked you for a favor today, didn't I, about I needed my rant of the week for myself, right?
Yes.
If that wasn't the rant of the week, you were changing your waiver wire person. Because your waiver wire was going to be my reel of the week until I saw you have it. So, please do me justice. Who is your waiver wire ad of the week?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it short. It's Woody Marks. He isn't just a waiver wire pickup. He is a league winner. Yep. He just stole touches from Nick Chubb. He put up a top 5 running back week, and the Texans are ready to unleash him. He is an amazing pass catching back. If he's on your waiver wire, stop listening to this show right now and go grab him.
I agree 100%, man. He's definitely a league winner. We don't know when Mixon's coming back, so Ride him.
I would like to say something about that. I think we don't know if he's coming back.
Yeah, I keep
Yeah,
hearing
yeah.
timetable is not.
But I
certain.
think he stole. I think he literally stole the job from Chubb.
I think so. Yes.
All right, Jordan, take it away.
Okay. Yeah, real quick for me, two injury based waiver pickups. One is Darius Slayton, just kind of taking a speculative ad on him with Neighbors being out. He's gonna step into that role as kind of the number one option, deeper targets for them. Wandale, obviously, if he's available, maybe take a look at him as well. But Darius Slayton, and then also the old guy Darren Waller for the Dolphins, tight end as they showed last year in the Dolphins offense is valuable for those short targets. Tyreek not being there is going to be more targets to go around. I think it's going to be centralized between Waddle, Achan, and Waller. With Malik Washington maybe getting a little bit more, but I think it'll be those three guys mainly until Waller possibly shows his age and breaks down. But he's gonna be worthy of a ad. Tight end is weak, as we talk about almost every week. So go pick him up.
All right. So before we have Raul go, this is. I know Raul saw it because his eyes popped. This is key. We have to help our man out. Okay. I'm gonna put them both up at the same time, and then I'll come back up. Would Chase Brown and Rice for Henry be too much? Sorry for the questions. I'm desperate. I'm one loss away from my season being over. I might be stuck in a Waffle House for 24 hours. So, Chivalry King, I am going to say something about this before we let everyone talk real quick because this is important. I mean, this question is important. What I'm about to say is not. I'm from California, north of Raul. So, Raul, I think Raul knows where I'm going with this. Jamie, you saw me last year, correct?
Yep.
You know where I had breakfast the day that I saw you?
Waffle House.
I want to be stuck in a Waffle House for 24 hours because I don't have one within like 12 hours of me. Realistically, not 12. I don't want to be stuck there for 24 hours. But if I had a Waffle House around me, I'd be fatter than I already am. Jamie, take this question away.
Yeah, I would love to be in a Waffle House for 24 hours. I mean, they got great food, you know. But yeah, no, this is definitely not too much. I would trade Chase Brown for pennies right now. And Rashee Rice is even playing, and you're going to get a Derrick Henry. I would do that 100%.
Honestly, just to add something, go and look at your league table and see who's 4-0 and 3-1 as well. And those might be the teams that are like a little more jumping at the bit to get Rashee Rice on your team. If like Derrick Henry's also on a 1-3 team, probably not happening. But just go take a look at the table. I would
Oh,
even start it by just
this is Dynasty.
ask if we're.
No, it's
Oh,
not. No, I was gonna tell him. I believe this is no. That's what Meatball's saying. Meatball, this isn't. This is redraft.
yeah. Go look at the league table. Look at who's literally sitting at first in your standings, and try and get a running back from that team because they are going to want Rashee Rice more than teams around you in the table.
All right, so Roll before you go, and then I'll bring up Meatball's comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Fantasy Meatball, we're on the same page because my waiver wire pickup for this week is Kendra Miller. A little walk down memory lane. My first ever article of going for two as a young Rahul a couple of years ago was Kendra Miller, and man, I doomed this guy's career. Honestly, Dennis Allen probably had a little more to do with that. Kendra Miller's own injury history had a little more to do with that, but I always thought the talent was there. I really liked him coming out of TCU. And we just saw his role expand. He had 11 carries for 65 yards and a rushing touchdown. An opening drive touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. It was clearly within their plan to get Kendra Miller involved. Saints kept that game a little closer than we expected. So maybe that fed into it, but I do think the talent is there. I just saw the stat pop up. Kendra Miller currently leads all running backs in elusive rating by PFF. He's forced 12 missed tackles and 28 carries. I think he's a legitimate player. Now, as long as Kamara is healthy, we're probably not getting to starting level with him, but there are many outs for how Kamara could miss with injury. He could be traded. late in the season, you could get shut down if this is a team that's going nowhere. You want to see how the young guys do. I think there are a lot of outs for Kendrick Miller to be in your lineup. So if he's on your waivers, go ahead and pick him up. This is a talented player, and like I said about Kellen Moore, there's going to be a lot of plays in this offense. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for him to score you some fantasy points.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Kendrick Miller. I didn't want to say too much because I didn't want to ruin your take, but I think they're trying to. I also do think that Kellen Moore knows his team sucks, and he's trying to see what he has in the future, and that's part of the reason that he is running Kendra and not Kamara, because we all know that Kamara's probably not on the team next year, and Jordan's probably hearing that all over his good old home state of Louisiana. All right, it has been a great show. Thursday night, don't forget to get your waivers in tonight. Thursday night is the Rams and the Niners. We'll throw it around the horn, and then we'll kick it off and say good night. Raul, take it away.
Yeah, awesome show, guys. Great pace, and thanks to all the viewers for listening. All the questions we came in, we love answering these questions. Yeah, good luck in week 5, and let's hope for let's pray for no more serious injuries. But yeah, good luck in your games this week.
Yeah, enjoyed the show tonight. I really enjoy all the questions. Everybody keep them coming next week. Get on them waiver wires. Look for injured players, all those type of things. And yeah, we'll talk next week.
And if you liked what you heard, hit that subscribe button. Drop us a review. Scratch that last part. Keep it to yourself. If you want to keep stacking wins, we'll be back next week with more cheat codes to help you stack those trophies and flex on your league.
All right. I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. You know where to find me. Okay. This is your punishment. For Rahul and for Jordan, I am Mike. Have a nice night, everyone, and peace out.